Okay guys, today we are solving the Sunday test series paper. Okay, every Monday I made the solutions of paper and give you a hint how to write down the answers, and the answers you appreciated or made in the answer sheet. I also help you to modify the answers if they are not they are improper. Clear? So just go to the paper here, see the Sunday test series paper mathematics section. Write three consecutive, first question, write three consecutive odd positive number. Three consecutive odd positive number. The answer one is three consecutive. Here you need to write down the section mathematics, section mathematics. Okay, the first answer is, what the first answer, please tell me? Three consecutive odd number. Three consecutive odd positive numbers means what? Odd directly cannot be written here. Just like 3 is an odd, 5 is an odd, 7 is an odd, but 3 comes after 2, 5 comes after 4, 6 come after 6, means these are the even number. Odd are not directly written here. Odd are given in the order of even numbers, right? Now, so first you need to define even, then later odd. So what is the method of writing answer odd number? Simply here you can write let q is some positive integer, is that clear? Therefore 2q is even, 2q plus 1 is what? Odd. Again 3 odd. So if you will write 2q plus 2, this is again even. 2q plus 3 you cannot write here because Euclid division lemma, a is equal to bq plus r, where r is greater than equal to 0 but less than b here. So how you can suppose this b as, right now? So this 2 must be always greater than this. So here must be 1, 3 and 1, 3 and 5 is there. Is that clear? So what we can suppose here, the two methods are there, this to write down the answer. So q is some positive integer, so b should be taken more values here, this, right? Now the two way of the writing answer, I am telling very fastly the write down the answer here. What is the manner? So you can write here 2m plus 1, okay, and 2n plus 1 again, and 2, what next is, and 2q plus 1. They are three odd positive number, but he is asking consecutive. What is the meaning of consecutive? Consecutive, it means you have to take this 4. So 4q plus 1 you can take. This is odd. And 4q plus what next is, if you will add one more after odd, even will come here. So you need to take this 3. Two numbers are coming here. Again 4q plus what next is 4, you cannot take here this, you need to take 5 here. Is that clear? So these are the three consecutive odd positive numbers here. 3 or 2 asking here this, you may see this 3 consecutive odd positive number. So I think everybody understood here. 4 also you not can take here this, you will need to take here the 6 because 6 is an even number. Finally your answer is, please delete it, your answer is 6q plus 1. Is that clear? 6q plus 3, not 2, okay, and 6q plus 4, not, it's a 5. This is your answer. 3 consecutive or positive integers. Right now, next answer, solution number next. What the question? Question is state fundamental arithmetic theorem. Okay, spelling is wrong written here. Arithmetic theorem. State fundamental arithmetic theorem. Explain why this is a composite. So can you state the fundamental arithmetic theorem? What is the fundamental arithmetic theorem? Every composite number can be expressed as a product of its prime factor. Okay, and this factorization is unique. Is that clear, guys? And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 5. Okay, here fundamental arithmetic theorem is to be written here. Fundamental arithmetic theorem. statement here is to be written. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 plus. What plus? 7 or something plus 5 is a composite number. We need to explain. Is a composite number. So, do you know composite number? This is based on this. Composite number means a composite number that. So, it is a step 1. This is step of term 2. Term 1, term 2. How this can be solved further? So, what is in common? 5, 5 common in both the terms. So, 5, 5 taken common. Here 7 into 6 into 4 into 3 into 2, okay, into 1 n plus 1, and you need to solve this further. 7 6 are 42, 42, and 4 is 12 2s are 24, 1 is 24 plus 1, and here is what? 24 2s are 48, 24 4s are how much is 96, 96 and 4 100 plus 1, here is 5. Further is to be solved this, the manner is 109 multiplied by 5, 9 5s are 45, whole 5 0, 5 1 is 5. This is what? So, I think here not need to composite it. You may say this is what is 5 as a prime factor and 1009. Can it be factorized furthermore? 19. Can it be divisible by any 3? No. Divisible by 11? No. No, it is a prime number right now. So, you may write down here this. You may write down here this. Yes, you may write down here, since this is a prime factorization, this is a prime factorization, therefore it will form a composite number by what? Please tell me. We are not saying this. This is saying by fundamental arithmetic theorem. Well understood you? Now solution number 3rd. Check whether 6 raised to the power n ends at 0 for any value of n. I think you all have written this. On fundamental arithmetic theorem you will solve this. 6 is to be broken into 2 and 3. So, since 6 is consisting 2 and 3 as a prime factor, so what we can say, and the number ending at 0 is divisible by 2 and 5 together. 5 must also together, for divisible of 5 means it must have 5 as prime factor. Okay. So, on raising power, the factors are not created newly, factors remain same what are there. By raising power, their number of terms occurring increases, but the new factors do not generates or do not appear in the expansion by writing numbers n. Okay. So, what you will write in 6 raised to the power n, you may prefer to the solutions last time. However, I am telling this orally. First you will do factorization 6. Okay, since the factorization of 6 does not contain 5 as a prime factor. Why? Because the number ending at 0 has the factor 5 as a prime factor. Okay. So, therefore, no value of n, the 6 raised to the power n will end at 0. Let p be a prime numbers and p divides a square, then p divides a, where a is a positive. This is to prove here. This question has been asked only in 2007, 2011, twice time this question has been asked. The question is difficulty with that. Students don't care about the question. So, this type of questions put the students in the difficulty in examination. Let p be prime numbers and p divides a square. P divides a square. P be a prime number, remember you please. Okay. P be a prime numbers. What is to prove here? We to prove here P be a prime and P divides a square. Then we have to prove P divide a. If p divide a square, then p divide a. This is to prove here. This could be a theorem here, right? So what is the method of since? You will write here p divide a square. If p divide a square, so obviously p is a factor of a square, and if I will split, if I will split the a square, then p will come inside that also. Therefore, a square can be written as p1 square into p2 square into p3 square dot 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 dot, and somewhere else p will lie. Is that clear or not? You will understand. Now, a student will think that how you have written this. It's very simple here. The number a square is appearing here. If and is clearly speaking this, p divides a square, means if I will split, I will break a square, then p and other types like p, p1, p2 will also appear in that. So I have broken this, and any number of the factors could be there, right? And this is written square, 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 square. So I can write them all under square. p1 into p2 into p3 into dot 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 dot. Here intermediary p and furthermore also, and get close them into the parenthesis the whole square. Can you write this or not? This is the basic indices rule you study, I think, in the 8th and 7th class. Okay, when the two or more quantities carrying the same power could be written in the parenthesis, is combined operation we can apply it here, and here is also a square. The left side quantity you may see is squared quantity, the right side quantity is also square. This whole quantity is single quantity now becomes. So either type square root can be taken, either side. Okay, what is that here? A is equal to p1 into p2 into p3 into dot 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 p into dot 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 furthermore. Now you may see what the left side here we brought a is equal to p1 into p2 into p3 into dot 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 furthermore p and dot dot dot. It means left side a, the right side is p1 p2. A has been splitted into p1 p2 p3 and p. It means p can divide it. It means in the factorization of a, p is lying. So you may write down, therefore p divides a square, as proved here. You may write down the statement, that is p will also divide a. Is that clear? Now this has been completed here. We'll remember this next. See the question next. What is that? Prove that n square minus n is divisible by 2 for every positive integer n. Prove that n square minus n is divisible by 2. Means divisibility by any number can be proved to see whether the number is lying in its prime factor or not. And how could you see this? Obviously, we can see this by splitting it. And this whole, our central idea in the chapter is Euclid's division lemma. N square minus n divisible by 2 for every positive integer n. Every positive integer n. Divisibility by 2. So how can we do this? It's very simple here. You will suppose as every positive integer. Solution number 4. Let n is equal to, you will suppose as a q. Okay, by Euclid's division lemma, by Euclid division lemma, 2q comma 2q plus 1 are positive integers. Ideal, Euclid division, they are positive. Why they are positive integers? Euclid saying, I am not saying this. Okay, therefore n square n. What is n? N square, first is 2q is to be taken here. So 2q square minus 2q. 2q square means 4q square minus 2q is equal to 2 common. Now student will speak here, sir, why we are not common taking q? Because we have to prove the divisibility by 2. So 2 is 2 must come 2 as, okay, 2 common, here a q left here. Since q is some positive integer, so obviously it's a 2 into m. Now you may see n square minus n is coming 2m, so divisible by 2 means this is even number. Okay, divisible by 2, that is even number. Again, for n is equal to, what you will take? Can you tell me why we are taking for n is equal to 2q plus 1? Because the questionnaire is saying for every positive integer. Means what you will suppose as a 2, you will speak every positive integer is there. Next, so here 2q plus 1 whole square and 2q, again do solve this, first term square 2 into first term and second plus second term square, and it's a 2q minus 1. Okay, open the parenthesis bracket, it's a 4q square, 2 2s are 4q plus 1 minus 2q minus 1. You may say this. So plus minus 1 cancel, and here 4q minus 2q is 2q. Here we will obtain 4q square plus 2q. Now what is common in them? Again 2 common, 2q square plus q. So what shall be it? It is again 2n. Is that clear or not? So this is some positive integer, so will be divisible by 2. Again you will write down here, this is divisible by, this is divisible by 2. Okay, now we have proved here this. The questionnaire have been asked here this, what is divisible by 2 for every positive integer. Question number 6, use the Euclid division lemma to show the cube of any positive integer of the form 9m. I think this questions I well explained you, cube of any number. One precaution to be taken here, this 9m form in Euclid division lemma. In Euclid division lemma, solution number next, Euclid division lemma, a is equal to b cube plus r. So here this is to be taken very carefully. If you will take 9 as, so how many r will be? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 value, 9 value will be there. If you will take b is equal to as a 3, you will take here. So how many value will that come here? 0, 1, 2. For only 3 values of r you will need to test. Otherwise the solution will be very lengthy. So everybody know here how to write down the solution. I am telling this again. If you don't know, you will first write down the statement, what? Let a and b are some positive integer such that you may see the solutions I told the last time. Here this is, I think, cube of any positive integers. What is that? This is that here, cube of any positive integers. Okay, here this is the solution. Let a and b are two positive integers such that b is equal to 3 by Euclid division lemma. A is equal to, this is 0, 1, 2. Cube is to be done here. However, here square has been done. Okay, you will do cube. You can copy this all. The same is to be done here. This. It's very simple. It is. Yeah, we brought here that same, the method of writing solution. Let a and b are, solution number whatever, let a and b are two positive integers such that b is equal to 3. The main thing, what is to change here, this r is equal to squaring. This is not squaring. What is to be done here, this, please tell me? Cubing, because cubing is being asked here. Cubing is being asked. So cubing either side. A cube and this, so it's a cube plus, what is that here, 27 cube. So it can be proved 9 is to be taken as, and 3 cube. You may see it's a 9m. Further you will do for r is equal to 1, and further you will do for r is equal to 2. Is that clear, guys? right now. So, this is the solution, further is to be done. Here you will write down the line, same. Clear? Well, understood you? Now, see the next question. Solution number 7. State Euclid division lemma. Also find the SCF of 196 and 388,220, 38,220 using Euclid division lemma. Can you state Euclid division lemma? Very simple it is. Right side you will write down statement Euclid division lemma. Given integers a and b, there exists two other integers q and r satisfying the relation a is equal to bq plus r, where r greater than equal to 0, but always less than b. This is the statement. And finding SCF method, I think everybody know here this how to. If you don't know this, please ask me, I will tell you this again. Okay. So, we have completed here the section science, section mathematics, now the section science. Section science. Answer 1. What the question first? Why should a magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning in air? Thinking process. Ribbon of magnesium. Magnesium is metal. Obviously, metal, what is the great disadvantage with metal? Any metal when left open in the atmosphere outside, we see that the tarnish of color of the surface, upper surface of the metal takes place. You may see iron, you may see aluminum, you may see even silver jewelries the women wearing, or anyone wearing can turns into blackish color their surface. Right now, this happens due to the reaction, we can speak here, because nothing is constant in the world, everything going on continue changing. Right now, the change is the law of nature, we can say. So, this is happening around you. So, why should a magnesium ribbon be? Obviously, if the ribbon is being kept for a long time, layer will develop on the surface, but this is the socially we speak layer will develop here, but chemically and technically what will speak here? We can say some substance would have been formed in the form of layer, as layer. So, what is substance? So, obviously, metal is there like magnesium, and what is an very reactive and very susceptible element in the nature. You may see around you, this is called oxygen. So, obviously, oxide of magnesium would have been formed. So, we will write down answer. A magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning, because magnesium oxide layer deposited on the surface of magnesium, that prevents the burning of magnesium. Means it is simply the process here, you may understand this. Magnesium plus magnesium and oxygen gives rise to magnesium oxide. The chemical equation is not balanced, this is to be balanced. Okay, and here is 2 magnesium atom and 2 oxygen atoms being participate. This is layer actually, this is layer, this layer is depositing on the surface. So, it will prevent, I am trying to make you understand about the, okay, suppose this is magnesium ribbon, it's a magnesium ribbon suppose. Okay. So, what happens on magnesium ribbon? This surface develops only, this is this surface develops obviously lead. So, if we will try to burn, what is the try to burning means? How do we burn the substance? With fire, that is this here. If we start burning it, so burning means turning into oxide. Oxygen will react with this in heat. Anything else when burn, it's oxide being formed mostly. So, already the oxide is coming in interact, means oxide is coming in path of burning, right. So, first you need to remove this surface. Okay. Finally, what the answer is there? It is cleaned before burning, because to remove the oxide layer, that prevents further burning. In one line you have to write down the answer. Clear? Now, Answer number 2. What is answer number 2? The question is, what is balanced chemical equation? Why should chemical equation be balanced? So tell me please, what is a balanced chemical equation? So a chemical equation is to be balanced. A balanced chemical equation that which follow the law of chemical combinations. And why should we balanced? That follow all the law of chemical combination. And why should we balance? Obviously, we balance the chemical equation because in any chemical equation matter never can be created nor be destroyed. Is that clear? So to validate the law of chemical combinations, a shiny brown colored element X on heating air becomes black. So brown colored metal, you need to think it's a skill and knowledge based question. It will application question we can speak here. You will use your knowledge and write down the answer. What is the X substance? Some substance which is X and brown in color. What is that in your practical life? So copper is there. Copper. So method of writing answer I am telling you. Answer number 3. Okay. X, the substance is copper. Copper, its a symbol is Cu, cuprum. Clear? And further question is what? Further question is being asked here. On heating, it become black in color. Name the substance X and black colored compound. Simply chemical reaction you can write down here. Copper. Heating. Yes, just I told you. Heating means any substance or metal when heated means simply combining with oxygen. Cu and it's a O, CuO. Is the chemical equation balanced here? No. So need to balance it. One copper balance with oxygen is 2 here. So to write down 2 due to this 2. So this is copper oxide. This is the blackened substance, black substance. Is that clear? Simply this is the method of writing answers. Now answer number 4. What is the fourth question? Give 2 limitation of chemical equation. How can we overcome these limitation? Means when you write a chemical equation, so limitation means what inconvenient you experience with the chemical equation. Since chemical equation is the result of any chemical reactions taking place, so some new substance formed, color appears, sound appears, heat evolve, heat absorb, heat release. Some information you cannot get by writing chemical equation. Just like when you have written a chemical, you may see in the question number 5. Magnesium is combining with chlorine is giving magnesium chloride. Can you tell me heat is really being released or not here? Obviously, from the equation seeing, we cannot predict the heat about heat. Even tell me please, what is the color of magnesium chloride? Can you predict? No. So there are some limitations which cannot be predicted easily. Okay. So these limitations you have to write. Give 2 limitations. First limitation is what? Color of substance cannot be color of substance does not appear in any chemical reaction. It cannot be known. Second, smell, odor, temperature, heat evolve. Heat evolve in the chemical reaction also cannot be informated or cannot be accessed. So how can we remove? By writing the heat right side evolving in, just like how this has to be written here. How can we overcome this? It's very simple here. So limitation here you will write. Okay. First limitation, second limitation. First limitation is color. Second limitation is heat. You will write complete statement. Okay. Color how can be? By writing with chemical equation with color, just like that. Suppose magnesium is greenish, so I can write magnesium with color pen. Okay. And oxygen, so simply gas I am representing with brown color O2. Okay. And what the substance is being formed? This is being formed in this color, I think. Whitish it is being formed here. Where is white? Where is white? Yes, I took here the white. I wrote here something. Can you see? I write as magnesium oxide. So can you see? No, obviously because white is page and white is magnesium oxide. You could not see here. So I am taking again this other color. Okay, let this is magnesium oxide. Is white. Clear? So let us this here. magnesium oxide. Right now, so we can overcome this. We can overcome the chemical equation from its color by writing the chemical compound with the color pen. Second heat, heat how can overcome? Substance, suppose A substance is combining with like that carbon, you can write ABC, okay, like that carbon is reacting with oxygen to give carbon dioxide, and with heat, if heat is being released, you can write as a product, plus if heat is absorbed, you can write minus as, okay, let this is. So this is called the endothermic reaction, endothermic, or this is exothermic reaction, exothermic. Now next is, what the next question? Balance the following chemical equation. What is the method of balancing? Magnesium, chlorine, magnesium, chlorine, magnesium chloride, okay, magnesium and chlorine. Balancing chemical equation. First is magnesium solid plus chlorine gas gives you magnesium chloride. Need to balance it. How can you balance? What is hit and trial method? Left side C magnesium. How many atoms of magnesium are? 1. Right side 1. Yes, magnesium balanced. Chlorine, how many atoms are there? 2 atoms are here. Cl2. This is the atomicity written here. Clear? Cl2, 2 atoms, or here is 2 atoms. Now chemical equation is balanced. So you may write down this is balanced. Second is what? Hydroserum, mercury plus mercury split into mercury and oxygen. So mercury split into mercury and oxygen, This is found in liquid state, split into mercury, again liquid state, plus oxygen. See here, in compound mercury, HgO, how many mercury atoms are here? 1 as a product also. Mercury balanced. Oxygen, how many are? As a reactant, 1, and here 2. So I need to write down 2 here. Okay. So 2 for different colored pen I am using here. 2 is to be written in this. So here again 2 is to be written here. Clear? Now mercury and oxygen both are balanced. Well understood you? Heat in trial method. Again the third one. But the third question is there. Sodium is combined with sulfur to give sodium sulfide. Fusion is taking place here. Sodium is combining with sulfur, Na2. So as a reactant, sodium 1 atom, as a product sodium 2 atoms. So you may write down 2 before Na. Sodium combined with sulfur to give Na2S. Clear? Balancing. Sodium, how many atoms? 1, here 2. So to write down here 2S. By writing this 2, okay. Now how many sulfurs are here? 1 sulfur, here is also 1 sulfur. Now chemical equation is balanced. Fourth number question is what? Calcium oxide and silicon dioxide. Calcium oxide plus SiO2, CaSiO3. This is called calcium silicate. This is an important chemical process that you will do in slick formations, flux. When you will study the metallurgical process, metal and non-metals, in the chapter number 3rd, I will give you in some detail about the calcium silicate and how this happens. Calcium oxide is simply lime. When it's silicon oxide is sand particles, it is actually separated from the pure metals to make it highly concentrated. This is important process. Okay. Now look. CaSiO3, and how can we do this? calcium oxide combined with silicon, calcium, one calcium balanced, calcium balanced, oxygen how many, one here and here 2, 3 together. It is, yes, I think you may see silicon balanced, oxygen balanced, all are balanced here. So this chemical equation is balanced, so not need to write down balance it. Okay, now answer number 5, answer 6, sorry, what is answer 6? Answer, what do you understand by, what do you mean by precipitation reaction? Explain by giving some example. Precipitation reaction, it should be difficult for you, it should be difficult for you. Precipitation, I think you might have seen some reaction, chemical reaction in the laboratory, when compound A react with compound B, some heavy substance found, that said deposit on the bottom of the test tube. You might have seen, I think, right? So this the one substance get deposit on this. This is called precipitation reaction. It means when two substances react with each other, a massive substance forms. So due to gravity, is deposited or set on the bottom of test tubes, and one is just and the above the others. A clear solution is also obtained here. This clear solution is light substance, and the other is the heavy substance. This type of reaction is said to be precipitation reaction, because the concentrate massive substance that deposit on the bottom of the test tubes is called precipitate. So it is called the precipitation reaction. Give me example. You can take the two compounds, some example, barium sulfide and sodium sulfate and barium chloride. You can take here this. Okay, iodide in the 9th class, barium sulfate, and you may just below here given potassium bromide and barium iodide, potassium bromide and barium iodide, potassium bromide and barium iodide. Let this is the reaction here, but you must know the definition, the chemical formula for this. So this will combine with iodine and this will combine with barium. So one of the substance will be massive and will form barium. So it's a BaBr2 plus Ki. So balance the chemical equation. Potassium balanced, always to be written potassium balanced, bromine not balanced, 2 is to be written here this. Okay, and bromine now balanced, barium 1, okay, iodine 2, but iodine 2 here, yes. Now chemical equation is balanced, you may see. Is that clear? So now which is higher massive? So I think this substance is massive. So this will deposit on the bottom of test tube. Clear? Test tube, I mean to say, there is test tube. You see a picture of that. We can take here also. I can show you the reaction here. Potassium bromide and barium iodide. Potassium bromide and barium iodide. Potassium bromide and barium iodide could be taken here this as chemical reaction. Potassium bromide and barium iodide. Where is my lab? Potassium bromide and barium iodide. Potassium bromide, KBr. It's not here. This some other. I'm telling you this. Sorry. Like that, KNO3 is not there. Sodium sulfate, K2SO4, Ki, potassium iodide. Before that, I need to take the test tube. Okay, let this is, and I will heat it them else. This also is to be taken here. This split lamp. I will take the split lamp stand. Okay, and take the some sort of KCl. What is that? Ki. Yeah, potassium iodide and potassium iodide, barium iodide, barium substance, that is barium, BaSO4 we can take here this, okay, BaSO4. We'll see some reaction will take place or not. Okay, liquid is to be taken here, water. No, this is, yeah, okay, and just ignite it. Yes, the reaction is good taking place here. Is will happen after some time. We'll take a wedge holder. Now the reaction is not taking place. We'll wait some 10 seconds whether the reaction will take place or not, otherwise we'll take different substances. Okay guys, the reaction is not taking place. Actually the substance is not available in my lab. So you may say this, so barium KBr you will take here this, and when the other substance if you will take here this barium iodide, and take water in that, okay, take water in that, and heat it. So obviously after some time you will see that one substance get deposited in the bottom, one substance will deposit on this bottom here, and one will form a crystal solution, clear solution here. So this is called clear solution, or this is called precipitate, shortly written as a PPT. So the reaction is said to be precipitation reaction. So not need to draw here this figure, okay. Simply you are to write down the definitions. Now look the next. Write the balanced chemical equation. These are the word equation have been written. You have to write their symbols and with the balanced chemical equation. Just like potassium bromide, barium iodide. First, the two tasks are to be done by the student. They have to write their symbolic in the symbolic form, its chemical compound and the balanced chemical equation. So want to know this question by me? I think everybody can solve this. If you can't solve this, please write me on my WhatsApp. Is that clear? Thank you very much. It is for the day.